Hi guys, nice to see you. My name is Andrew Zeleno. I'm a professional audio engineer with more than 10 years of experience in professional field. Last 6 years I'm a full-time teacher for audio mixing course in Skype, and my students say this course has advantages over other courses because of unique teaching approach. You can see their reviews on the left side of the screen. I highlighted the most important statements with the yellow color, just to save your time reading. So on this course we have absolutely full-fat theory covering all topics of audio engineering, and after this course you will never need to learn anything else. It was my purpose to make a course which will be the most advanced in theory. We learn all possible techniques, great approach, great philosophy about mixing. What unique, we have homework checking. You choose your own projects. You can choose projects I provide, or you can choose any project you want in any genre, and we compare your projects with top sounding mixes of all time in real time, where you really see the process, where you see how I struggle, how I make decisions, what exactly we listen to. We don't make any excuses, we just compare side by side, and if it sounds wrong, we change it until it sounds at the same level. In this case, this course is all about results. Also, this course is very affordable. For the same amount of money, you can buy like average pair of monitors or one average microphone or 3-4 plugins. But it doesn't guarantee anything. This course guarantees top results. Plus you pay monthly, and it makes payments very easy. Actually, sometimes there is opportunity to attend one free trial class, which says more than any words. You can send me an email to ask me if there is some available class, and you can attend with really current students to see real classes. Since January we have new video on this channel every week. From now on, this channel fully dedicated to audio production in English. So if you want to support this channel, subscribe, hit notification bell button, like, and any comment. In this case you support the channel, and the more you do it, the more I make videos. And don't forget, this videos is only additional. If you want really serious education, you may consider attending the course. Because of course I keep the best stuff for the course. A lot of people heard about Lord-Alge, one of the greatest audio engineer of all time, and his monitors Yamaha NS10s. Today I'm gonna explain why Lord-Alge uses low level of monitoring. You listen to music really quietly to make your decisions on EQ, compression. Why Lord-Alge uses really low level. Today we're gonna talk about that. We also want to absorb this idea. We try it and sometimes it doesn't work for you. Main reason why he uses really low level is this thing. It's called Yamaha NS10 monitors. Actually, if you have other type of monitors, actually this idea like having really quiet level for monitoring could be not suitable for you at all. Why a lot of people say that if you make a mix on Yamaha NS10 and it sounds okay, it will sound okay everywhere. We know this problem about monitoring. Let's imagine this situation. You mix something in your room, you have some random monitors, and you compare your mix with some reference track. It can sound amazing, let's say, in your studio, right? Maybe it sounds pretty similar to reference track, it's like top end quality, and you say, oh my god, my mixing is really good. But then you grab the same test, your track versus this reference track, you go to the car, you go to the other studio, you go to the other room, you put headphones, and suddenly your mix sucks, right? Absolutely worse than reference track. It may sound muddier or sharper or smaller or thinner. Instruments can be not that defined. You don't have 3D, deeper sounding instruments, closer sounding instruments. It may be not so wide stereo field, sounds like weaker, not so rich, not so defined like in the reference track. Why it happens? It's all about different conditions in acoustics, and it's all about different monitors. Every monitor sound different, you know? Sometimes something sounds great on one pair of monitors, let's say on these ones, but let's say on these ones everything sounds much worse. Lord-Alge uses a quieter level because his monitors are Yamaha NS10. These monitors is known for very harsh upper mid-range. They show all this harshness, sharpness. If some instruments have some harsh frequencies in this range, you're definitely gonna hear it. And when you fix it, when you don't allow some instruments to be boosted incorrectly in this range, or you even cut maybe some frequencies on the most harsh instruments, or you use opposite approach, if you don't want these frequencies to be boosted, you boost other frequencies in the other ranges to mask this exact harsh frequency. In this case, you fix harshness and sharpness of your mix, and this track will be sounding great on any possible monitoring systems even on cell phone speaker, which can be super bright, super upper mid-rangey, showing all this really harshness. So if you mix on Yamaha NS10s, you get idea about upper mid-range. So as long as these monitors don't show you any lows, any like smooth and fat, profound mid frequencies, low mid frequencies, you hear only this kind of a really dry, straightforward and harsh frequencies. And that's why you intuitively, intentionally try to make it smoother. And that's why your mix will sound maybe better in some cases where your listener have opportunity to hear those sharp frequencies as well. Just imagine when you have already so sharp and so harsh monitors, and when you crank it up, according to Fletcher Munson rule, you're gonna have more and more and more highs and upper mid-range boosted as well as lows. In this case, those harsh frequencies can be even harsher. So a lot of people say who works on Yamaha NS10s for the first time, they say, oh my god, I couldn't handle more than 5 or 10 minutes because it's so annoying and so harsh. Why it happens? You already have boosted upper mid-range, plus you're gonna have more harsh highs and upper mid-range by Fletcher Munson effect, because the louder you make your monitors, the more those frequencies you hear. That's why Lord-Alge intuitively don't want to harm his ears and want to hear a bit less annoying upper mid-range frequencies, and that's why he makes monitors a bit quieter. That's why this rule can be absolutely not working for you if you have some smooth monitors, let's say fat and like boomy sounding monitors, let's say like Neumanns, or like deep sounding with bottom end monitors like Adam monitors, right? So it could be just not working for you. Other really important moment about monitors is details. You know, the less experience you have, the less you hear little details about each instrument. Sometimes monitors don't show you enough details when you cannot recognize nuances of each instrument. Everything sounds like a mess. Too simple, you know, just like a song, but you want to hear nuances, details. Yamaha NS10s, due to really boosted upper mid-range, as you can see over here, between 1K, 2K, 3K, so it's like really boosted, and as long as you don't have really pronounced lows, you have anything below 100, low mid is also like not exaggerated, not noticeable. Because of that, you kind of hear a lot of details about upper mid-range. In upper mid-range we have the most sensitive ears, and you hear attacks of drums, punch of drums, you hear articulation of the bass, you hear like harmonics and resonant peak of electric guitars, you hear all this articulation and pronunciation of lead synthesizers, pads in electronic music. So it's also higher scene informant in vocals. Usually on typical smooth monitors, you want to make monitors a bit louder just to hear these nuances about upper mid louder, because it will be louder and you hear it more. But on Yamaha NS10s, you actually don't need it that much, because it's already very boosted, it's already very pronounced in upper mid-range. And that's why you can make these monitors quieter, and you hear all details even at lower level. That's why on the internet you can find some statements about like a lot of details with low SPL. SPL stands for sound pressure level. So it means when you have monitors really quietly set up, you still hear a lot of details. Why you hear a lot of details? Because upper mid-range in these Yamaha NS10 monitors are so pronounced that you really kind of don't need to crank it up to really hear upper mid-range. So this is the whole secret about Yamaha NS10s. So be aware, if you use like regular typical modern speakers, modern monitors, you can have actually opposite result. If you make your monitors just like really quietly, you're not gonna hear upper mid-range that much and highs, everything will be even smoother, everything will be even like less pronounced. A lot of modern studio monitors, they have pretty flat curve, they demonstrate all these boomy frequencies, muddy frequencies, and when you make your monitors like really quiet, sometimes you hear more muddiness, more boominess because of you hear low mid. You still hear some low mids, but you hear less and less and less highs and upper mid. So you working, let's say, on monitors like Neumann KH120, like these ones, if you're gonna make them really quietly, everything will be really dark and muddy. You intuitively gonna crank highs and upper mid-range on your equalizers, actually making those harsh, potentially harsh frequencies more harsh and more sharp. If then you check your mix on Yamaha NS10s, it will be 2 times harsher than even checking your mix without mixing on those Yamaha NS10s. So you can have opposite result. Your mix can be too sharp if you control your mixes at very low level with so smooth and fat sounding monitors. So be aware of this nuance. And second suggestion, if you still decided to go with Yamaha NS10s and you haven't had enough experience with these monitors, you probably don't know that these monitors almost don't give you information about low, mid and lows. Always use Yamaha NS10s with some other monitors in combination. Never work only on Yamaha NS10s, because you all the time gonna boost more lows, you're gonna make upper mid-range less harsh, and eventually your mixes can be too dark and too boomy, and your lows, kick and bass can have enormous frequency conflicts, everything will be humming, everything will be boomy. You're gonna actually spoil your mixes working only on Yamaha NS10s. That's why in most studios you see monitors, Yamaha NS10s, and next to them you usually have like some large monitors, maybe midfield monitors, built-in walls monitors with large speakers. A lot of people who work with Yamaha NS10s, they tend to use subwoofer with it. But don't forget, subwoofer doesn't mean you kind of compensate a lack of details in low mid. So that's why I don't recommend just Yamahas. The best solution, it would be some typical modern monitors to get more mid details about low mid, about boominess, about 100 Hz problems. Then you combine it with a subwoofer to get frequencies below 50, to get information around 50, 60, 40 Hz, and Yamaha NS10s to check sharpness of your upper mid-range. It will be the best setup, but again, to be totally honest, monitors are monitors. Your mixing quality doesn't go exactly from monitors. It goes always from understanding all these little molecules of audio. A lot of experience, a lot of practical situations. This is exactly what my students learn on my course. Don't forget, next week we're gonna have the next video. Subscribe and hit notification bell, hit like and put any comment to support this channel. You may consider to send me an email to check free trial class with current students to check the course.